Hello, I want to give you an update on 6 mosque cases that I've fought recently. 3 wins, 2 losses and 1 that I think is a loss but I can't be sure. And they are Cardiff, Havering, Brent, Hillingdon, Harrogate and Preston. So I'll start with Cardiff. Let me bring it up now. There you are. Demolition of former police station and construction of community centre. Always a community centre. That's at the former police station in St Mellons in Cardiff. There are no mosques, there are only community centres. This country is awash with community centres. Now here is if I do this, I'll show you where the police station was. If you see that place there, let me go along the road a bit and you can see it a bit more. You see that little sign there? If I zoom in, that's the police, Headloo. That's that police station now. I think it was going to be about 4,500 square feet with very little parking, virtually no parking, I think. Now, this one, maybe I shouldn't have gone for it. It was one that had been already got planning permission for religious use, for Islamic religious use, and they are now applying to have that proposal changed. What really made me go for it was that the Welsh government gave me a huge great grant. Let me just bring up the page to show this. Now if you see that Just Giving page, let me go down and down and down and down. Just Giving, there you are, that's the site, that's the mosque they want. So I initially proposed with a nice green grass roof on it, isn't that nice? Now there, this is the detail. Assalamu alaikum, yes, and all bloody, may the peace, mercy, bloody. We currently hold £100,000 in reserves, £250,000 in a Welsh government grant with the aim of raising the balance within the next 6 to 8 months. So the Welsh government gave this mosque outfit £250,000. Which other religion does the Welsh government or any government give £250,000 to? I've never heard of that, and that's just to one mosque, okay? So I was keen to not give them a free run at it, and we didn't, but they won. Even when you lose, at least we show that we're not all of us going to roll over and let it happen. We also let people know there is something that they can do. It's a kind of a spirit of resistance, even if this particular battle is lost. Now I'll take you to the next one. This one is Havering, the London Borough of Havering. Change of use from youth class or financial services to a place of worship and community facility. Yes, another community centre. And that was at 29 to 31 Upminster Road South in Rainham, otherwise known as the old Barclays Bank site. So if I bring that up, there you see in Google Street View, there you see that old Barclays Bank. Now you see that right opposite that pinch point, that traffic calming measure there with the bollards. Tell me that on a Friday afternoon, if that place had got going, the traffic would have had an easy time getting through that pinch point, that traffic calming measure. This is what happens with mosques in general. This is what happens with the parking jihad. You tend to get, initially it's just about establishing territory. Mosque goers, worshippers will park inconsiderately, and neighbours can't understand this. Why are Muslims such inconsiderate parkers? Are they just not very good at it? Do they not learn about it? But what it's about is establishing territory during mosque hours. It's a service, it's only going on for a couple of hours. You can put up with it. This is our territory whilst it's going on. And gradually that territorialism will increase until eventually it becomes almost impossible for people to get out of their houses to go shopping or to go down the road at certain times. And people quickly learn better than to go and ask people to move their cars, because they will get a mouthful of abuse. That's the common progression that you get in mosques. When it goes further, you actually get what I notice, I'm not accusing these people of doing it, what I notice with mosques in general, there's a tendency to want to put them on arterial routes, at entrances into towns, at certain choke points into towns. Now, the thought crosses my mind, is that part of the Islamic the Islamic script to try to gain power, because if you control the flow of traffic into a town, you control part of that town. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but again, tell me how easy it would have been on a Friday afternoon if that mosque had gone ahead. How easy it would have been for people to just to go shopping down that road, to the shops that are left along there, or to go to that estate agency, or to go and place a bet at Coral. I am glad that we won that one. Now let me take you, and that one is Havering or Raynham. Let me take you to the next one. This one is in Brent, and we won this one. Change of use of a ground floor from professional services to a place of worship and meeting hall. That's unusual, meeting hall. Usually it's a community centre. I think meeting hall is another form of community use. And replacement of window, etc. to front elevation. And that one got refused. Now let me just show you where it was. Going to Google, there we are. Now, if you see, if I zoom out a bit, that's Brent there. You see Brent, and Wembley is just down the road there. I think there might be, that's Preston Road Station, but let me zoom in a bit, and that station there, that is Kingsbury Station. So on Kingsbury Road, what you see is a rank of shops there. Now if I just show you that rank of shops, if I drop the little yellow man in there, now let me turn around. What you've got there is one halal butcher's, a chicken shop, and then another halal butchers and cash and carry. Now let me go out of Street View again, back to where we were. That's so that's the parade of shops along there, and behind there, that's the building. Now that looks like a sort of a commercial storehouse, maybe some office extension previously, a small outhouse extension to that parade of stores. Maybe goods that were going to be sold in those shops might get stored in there. So that's the place, Alpha House. Again, I don't think any parking, from memory, I don't think any parking was provided. Where would that parking have gone? I reckon it would have clogged up the Aldi car park in the rear, which for a supermarket car park, that is not that big. And also quite a lot of it would have just gone in front of that parade of shops there. And once that place had been established, there would have been further pressure to extend it along there. And again, you see another traffic pinch point. You see that big that roundabout there with 5 major roads coming off it. That would have been another choke point, another traffic choke point. I keep seeing this with mosque applications. Don't know why. Okay, so that one got refused, and I'm pleased about that. Let me take you to the next one. Now this application, this is one that we won. This is Hillingdon, the old Angel pub in Hillingdon. And you see the planning application page there. Proposed change of use from public house to place of worship and community centre. Bingo, another community centre. And if I just go there into Google Street View, that is the Angel Public House. What a lovely old pub. Beautiful. Again, along a very busy dual carriageway through Hillingdon. Again, I keep seeing that. That would have been a huge place. That's a nice property, a Grade 2 listed building. It's even got its own Wikipedia page, the Angel in Hayes. The Angel is a Grade 2 listed public house, 697 Uxbridge Road, Hayes. It was built in 1926 and designed by Noel Parr for Fuller's Brewery. Now, 1926, that would have been a pub that was built to accommodate the growth of metro land. When the suburbs on the edge of London, like Hillingdon, got going in the days of Evelyn Waugh or John Betjeman, when they were writing about commuters going on the tube into London for the first time in history, the suburbs expanding out fast in the 1930s, developing a style of their own. They're nice, those 1930s suburbs, those that exist. And you would get people setting up pubs in order to serve them. And they took care of those pubs to make sure they looked nice. And this fellow, Noel Parr, it just said, well, if you look up his page, he made his name building pubs for Fuller's Brewery. And he made sure they were nice places. And they are remembered today. There's real character. And that character can't be maintained even if the building stays exactly the same Not a brick, not an inch of plaster, not a door is taken away. That character is not going to remain the same if a pub is converted to a mosque, for obvious reasons, but because of the attitudes to alcohol. And it is really sad, the number of pubs that are getting converted to mosques. I wish I could resist every one of them. This is one that I was able to resist, and we won. So let me take you now to the next one. The next one is Harrogate, and I lost this one, much to my disappointment. I wanted to win this one. This one is a sad one. But there you are. Harrogate's council webpage isn't up and running at the moment, so here's the application form, Harrogate Council, and this was at number 4 in Belford Road in Harrogate. Now if I go down a bit further, you'll see there the description of the proposal: conversion of vacant former Home Guards Club to place of worship. Now let me show you the site on Google Street View. Now there it is, number 4, Belford Road. That building there, that's a locally listed building, so it's not listed with Heritage England, but it's considered to be of local importance. If I just scan around the area, you'll see what a pretty area it is, why Harrogate is so highly thought of architecturally. That's a school, that's some old almshouses. I think that again is part of the almshouses. They look like chapels actually, they're beautifully built. They're a lovely old willow tree in people's gardens, those old Victorian stone-built properties. And there, that place was, initially, that's a real part of English history. Initially, that was a Masonic lodge, I mean, about 150 years ago. And you see that probably would have held up the coat of arms of the Masons. And during World War II, that became the clubhouse for the local Home Guard, and in 1945 they formed these bonds of loyalty, which they wanted to keep going. So these old Home Guards fellas, they decided to buy it. They bought it in 1945, and they died off, and eventually the place became vacant. And now they were prepared to defend us, and we have not stood up and defended them, or at least their clubhouse. And that clubhouse is now going to be turned into a mosque. That is very sad. If you read any books about what people who fought in World War II today think of mass immigration, you'll realise how sad it is. There's a very good book called The Unknown Warriors, which you can read. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it, download it on Kindle. It's very good. It's just interview questions with old soldiers, and pretty much to a man, that they bitterly regret the levels of mass immigration. So I think it's really sad that I lost this one, that this place went. There isn't the market for people to fight these cases properly yet. I wish there was. And just to show you what I'm talking about here, I'll show you this Facebook page. That is a Facebook page dedicated to the Harrogate Home Guard. If you can see that, look at those old fellas, mild-mannered, gentle. They're not militaristic. They're not in fancy uniforms. They're not stamping around. I wonder if that was sometime around VE Day, where they were just doing a little march around town, not triumphalist, but just saying the war's over, we've prevailed. They polished their boots, having a march around town. They would have fought for us, and we fought a little for them, but didn't succeed. And it's a shame. It's sad, but well, you win some, you lose some. You keep going, you keep fighting. Now the final one is in Preston. This is one that I think I've lost. I can't be absolutely certain. That is an outline application seeking approval for appearance. Basically, it's outline planning permission in principle to build a mosque on what is a greenfield site in open countryside. If you know anything about planning, you know you pretty much can't blow your nose in open countryside or on a greenfield site. But these people got planning permission for it. What a surprise! And let me just show you the site again on Google Earth. If you see that, now that site there, that is the site. So that is Preston, okay, Fulwood in Preston. Preston in the centre there, Fulwood there, and then just on the edge, the M59, I think it is. That is a busy arterial route into Preston. Now, if you see there, that roundabout, then that patch of grass right next to the roundabout, that is where they wanted to put their mosque. That is where they've got planning permission for it. If I'd gone there saying that if I'd said well, this country does not have a shortage of mosques, and it certainly doesn't have a shortage of community centres. It does have a housing shortage. If I went to the council and said, I want to build houses on there, the council would have got very indignant, and they would have laughed me out of hand, out of the office, and said, no way, there's no way you're getting houses there. But a mosque outfit come along and they get planning permission there for a landmark mosque. And if you don't believe me, then look at the news report. That's from Lancs Live. Broughton Landmark Mosque approved after 3-hour debate at Preston. So that's at the council. The council planning committee voted to grant planning permission. I don't know if planning permission has been granted yet. The vote in committee is not the planning permission. The planning permission is when the notice, the decision notice, is printed off, signed, and then posted to the applicant. So when that is sent out, that is the planning permission, not the vote in planning committee. But anyway, so the committee voted to grant planning permission for that. That is, we were looking at it from that side there. Now this is looking at it here. Look at that with that busy motorway. That is the entrance into Preston. That's what people are going to see. That huge big mosque and that great big minaret. I'd like to ask for some help here. Again, as I said, the vote in planning committee, that is not the planning permission. It is when the notice is sent out. Now, if I go there to the council's webpage, they don't seem to have uploaded a decision notice yet. Now, it may be that for some reason there's some procedural difficulty and they're having second thoughts and there might be another council committee meeting. It may be that there's a reason why they haven't issued that decision notice, which would mean that they haven't yet, in fact, granted planning permission. So if there's someone there who can contact the council and just get hold of the decision notice, if one has been issued, and email it to me, I'll be grateful. If they can also find out how the vote went, how many voted in favour of planning permission, how many voted against at the committee, I'll be grateful to hear that. If you can find that out and email me, let me know. I'll be glad to know that. Okay, so those are the 6 that I've dealt with. Bear with me. That's Cardiff, which I lost, Havering, which I won, Brent, which I won, Hillingdon, which I won, Harrogate, sad one, former Home Guards, Clubhouse, I lost that one. Sorry, fellas, you're all dead, but most of you are dead, but it's still a shame. And finally, Preston, I think I've lost that one. If someone can help me get the decision notice, I'll be grateful. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. At least that's 6 that were fought. That is 6 that did not get a free run at it. All right, what I'd like to do, the reason I didn't win more of them is I simply don't have the budget to be able to go after them properly. I do this in my spare time. I'm unpaid. I have a day job. I earn my living. At some stage, I'm going to need a proper budget in order to be able to fight each case properly as it needs to be fought. At the moment, I don't think that's possible because I don't think there is the market or the demand for the sort of thing that I'm doing, the sort of thing that any sort of nationalist or patriotic group are doing. People are in the mood to complain and grumble and watch a little bit of outrage on YouTube or Facebook. What they're not in the mood to do is to do anything about it. That will change if and when the welfare state and the economy fall over. When that happens, the authority of the state will fall over, and then I think we will see attitudes change fast. I think the change in attitudes will be like an earthquake followed by a landslide. It'll be look out below, and the worry then won't be that people are not interested enough. It will be, if anything, that people are too interested, that people are in a mood to lash out. What will be needed then is people who know what they're doing and can hold their nerve. That's why it's important. What I'm doing, all I'm able to do here is to try to hold the line, to hold back the tide, so that when this situation blows, it at least can be dealt with in a more easily. It can be managed and solved more easily without people losing their heads and lashing out. So it's important to hold the line. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've done here by opposing a further 6 mosque applications. I think I'm up to about 81 planning battles I've done. I'm really itching to get to the 100 mark. Okay, thank you very much.